Sort of feels like when you're born and you're young, you have this view, and it's like a straight line, sort of like that. And all you're doing is looking straight forward at what you want, and you don't see anybody else, just yourself. And as you develop, your perspective starts to open. And I think some of us, our perspective opens, and sometimes it starts to close when we do things. So eventually you're seeing more of the world. You're seeing those around you. Maybe you're seeing your community, the state, the world. And I think when we look at the people who are very, very self-aware, it seems like they just have a very, very aware perspective. And it just seems like nobody even has a peripheral vision where they can see 180 degrees, really. But maybe the saints, special philosophers, and people who we remember and those we don't know about had this really open awareness. And I don't believe anybody but some infinite creator can have total awareness. That's what they talk about in the 1800s. A physicist talked about the possibility that if there was some, they called it a demon, but for modern times you would say some computer. If there's some computer that could calculate every single, or know and calculate every single instance of everything, every atom, every particle, every movement, every motion, then in theory they would be able to predict the future and understand the past and the present and the future infinitely, because it's all behaving in a certain pattern or a certain, almost you could say, formula. So maybe some infinite creator, the same way they actually used to talk about an infinite creator in that way, maybe they're the ones who have the perfect perspective. And us humans can never close it, at least in human form. The infinite creator suddenly becomes this infinite awareness. You see, human beings can never be aware of everything, and this is why it's often important to have people you love and people you trust, and people that you love and trust tell the truth, even when sometimes it can hurt you, because it can help make you decisions and see things that you never can see yourself. It's impossible. Someone once said on Instagram, I had read, "Oh, isn't it interesting you never see yourself? You see pictures of yourself or your reflection, but it's physically impossible to see yourself. But it's also emotionally and spiritually and psychologically impossible to completely see yourself. This is why we go to therapy. And it helps us to get another perspective. And this is why it's very, very important not to lie ourselves. Our perspective starts to dim as we blur the lines of what reality is and what our own abilities and capabilities even are. Let's say in school you're cheating and lying, then you think that you're better off than you are, and those grades that are meant to give you a measurement of where you are and help you to grow more, show you how you can grow more, become a little bit of a false confidence that you think you're doing better than you are when you cheat. You start to create this delusion so that your perspective eventually, when you need to make important life decisions, like we sometimes see what we call dumb criminals. How could they be so obvious? Well, when you lie and cheat to the certain degree, it messes with your judgment to the point where you can't make decisions that are good. So it's very important to tell the truth, but it's very important to grow your perspective, and you can only really see more of the world around you with the help of people. In this way, we're kind of all interconnected in this circle, and really together we would help complete more of it, even if we never can close the circle. But again, more circles. Perspective, really, it does feel that way. As you're dedicated to wanting to grow, your perspective starts to open. But there are many adults who have a narrow perspective and are selfish and remain in the same caught up habits or karma that are kind of complicating their lives without them knowing it. Just a thought.